So yesterday I got to have coffee with this guy who runs a very successful software development company. He's basically doing what I was doing. I got introduced to him through another guy. I was looking for some financing for my business, for my customers, and I got introduced to this guy. And super cool. He started in the travel industry, created a SaaS product, and then he created a dev shop. And so he's basically doing what I'm doing. So today I kind of want to talk about a different way of learning information when it comes to reading books. I have this book called Software as a Science. It's all about how to create a SaaS product, software as a service product, using the methods that Dan Martell and his friends built out. Now, if you don't know who Dan Martell is, you should go look him up on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. And he is a multi-nine-figure entrepreneur who sold multiple software companies. Kind of my dream idol. I put all my dreams of things to people to meet as him. He's from Vancouver, or he's from, I don't know where he's from. He's from somewhere in Canada. Anyways, when you're reading books, how do you consume the information? Do you read a book and then do you apply that information directly to whatever the purpose is? Like, if let's just say, for example, you're reading a book on how to build a SaaS company or a SaaS product, and then you're like, you know what? You write down on your notes, so then you have a bunch of different notes from a bunch of different chapters, and you're like, okay, I need to apply this information. How do I do that? Some people love just getting information and then they don't apply it at all. Some people write a lot of notes down and then they say, okay, I need to apply this later. Whether you're working a 9-to-5 job or you're a full-blown entrepreneur working every single hour of the day, what I've done is I love reading books, listening to podcasts, all that fun stuff. But again, it's still, are we really doing anything, or are we just kind of like giving us like mental masturbation for what we're trying to achieve? So what I've done is, let's take pictures of a single chapter. Let's call this chapter How to Price Better, okay? His book, for example, most of his chapter is about 19 pages. In ChatGPT, you can upload up to 10 images at a time, so you might have to do it twice. Claude, on the other hand, allows you to do 20 images at a time, which is cool. So I actually been using Claude a little bit more now. I love Claude anyways. But so what I do, I have a description I already have of exactly what my SaaS product is, and then I took pictures from that pricing chapter and said, hey, I didn't want to read all 19 pages. Anyways, here's the point. It takes probably maybe like 5 minutes. You take a screenshot with your phone of every single page in that chapter. Then you put it into Claude and say, hey, summarize this chapter for me. And then you put in the description. After it spits out what it understands what the chapter is about, you say, hey, let's copy in what my SaaS product is about and apply teaching as everything that we talked about in this chapter exactly to my SaaS product. And it will spit out all of the lessons, all of the examples, everything that it created that they talk about in the book directly applies to your business or to whatever you're trying to learn. It's directly applicable. Now, there's still the execution of it. So I always say, like, as soon as you have an execution plan, start executing. And so I have a meeting later today with this same software guy, and I was like, dude, we have to do something together in terms of software. You have a very successful business. I'm working on mine. Would you be open to the opportunity of us building something together? And he's like, I always love entertaining those types of ideas. I was like, cool. So because he was in the travel industry, I did a lot of research about different SaaS products within the travel industry. We have a really cool one that we're working on. It's about being able to plan out trips and split the travel expenses, bookings, all that type of stuff among friends, polls, figuring out dates, all the logistics of doing that all from one place. It's going to be a really fun, cool app. I'm presenting this idea to Scott today, and we are actually going to a VC event that we both got invited to. Our friend who's a VC introduced us together. So we're actually going to a VC event today, and you never know where anything goes. I'm all hyped up on coffee right now. Side note, things that just came out recently, out of beta mode, is Google LM. If you don't know Google LM, go look it up. You can find it. You get a bunch of different sources, including website URL links, YouTube links, PDFs, all that type of stuff. You can have up to like 50 sources, and then you can just listen to it by a podcast while you're driving, doing other stuff, and then you can actually interrupt it while they're talking. You have two people that are talking about whatever subject you want to learn, and then you can say, oh, actually, you know what? This applies to me, but I'm actually trying to do this for a clothing brand instead. They're, oh, well, actually, that's so sick. And then they'll continue the conversation based on what information you just gave them. It is the wildest, craziest thing. So if you love to learn, if you like to apply, if you like to execute things that you learn on a daily basis, and when you say something, like, start doing that immediately, that's kind of how I work. And I've had plenty of success doing that, plenty of failures not doing that, plenty of failures doing that because I executed on the wrong thing. But guess what? I learned from it. That is my rant tip of the day about how to learn and apply information that you learn from books, and also how to learn separately when you're in the car using Google LM. I highly recommend, check it out. My name is Zach. If you don't know, I run a software development company called Code Meets Bagel. We build mobile apps, websites, automations. We do all that cool stuff. How it works is basically someone reaches out to me, say, hey, I have this idea. Okay, cool. And then I say, let's build you a demo. So we build you a demo within a day or so. So to really understand if I understand what you're trying to build and achieve, if it's a good fit, and then we'll move forward and we'll get started, give you a scope of work, pricing, all that fun stuff, and then we go from there. And then we start building your app, website, automation, whatever it is. Again, my name is Zach. Have a good one.